Are you a purpose-driven entrepreneur struggling to get web traffic that converts into paying clients? Stop wasting time and money. Discover how to position yourself as the go-to authority in your niche or industry. Infuse your wow website with the best unmarketing strategies and drive traffic to your website that converts to leads and clients. Listen to the Unmarket Your Business podcast today and watch as your ideal clients find you with ease. Let's head into the studio now with our hostess with the mostest, Carol J. Dunlop. Hello, and welcome back to the Unmarket Your Business podcast. I am your hostess with the mostest, Carol J. Dunlop. How are you doing? So I hope you are staying cool, warm, whatever, just staying comfortable. I hope you're doing that. And I hope you are ready for today's guest, because if you had any idea or any inkling or anything about wanting to buy property in Mexico, invest in Mexico, you are in the right place today, because my guest, Susie McDonald, is going to tell you all about what is required, what you need to do, how you can get it. All your questions are going to be answered. I've been waiting for this. It's going to be amazing. So I have a funny story about Susie. Susie, when you see her, you'll know who she is. But she is a celebrity on-air talent for House Hunters International on HGTV. And me and my husband Alvin, we love House Hunters International. We started with House Hunters, switched over to International. We're doing both of them for a while. Then we just totally fell in love with International, and we haven't gone back. We haven't even watched the regular House Hunters in a long time. So when I saw every time they had something from Mexico on there, Susie was always there. So I got to know her, see her, all of that. And when we decided to move to Playa del Carmen, Mexico, I was like, she is the person I need to talk to. So I stalked her, figured out where she was, connected with her. I mean, I don't know where she lives or anything, but I did stalk her online, and it was pretty simple because she wants people to find her. She wants to be stalked in that way, to find a real estate agent, not in a bad way, just in a good way, right? And so I called her when I was in the States and called to Mexico, and she was so warm and friendly, knowledgeable, all of that, just like on TV. So if you have seen any episode with her in there, she is the exact same way. Okay. The exact same way. Love her to. She is amazing. And you will really learn a lot from what she's going to talk about today. All right. Now, I announced this last episode about the founding 2025 members, but I'm going to say it again because this month isn't over yet and you still have time. So as I said, when I first created the Unmarketing Academy, I knew that entrepreneurs like me, like you, were struggling in this digital age. I mean, I came out and started using technological things right before, well, in the beginning of the www internet, right? And before blogging was even a thing. So I've been around since all this stuff was beginning. I've seen Twitter start up. I saw when Facebook came along. So I've been, and there was no roadmap then. There was nothing. You just got in and you did it, and you see where we are now. There are thousands of things we can do. Now there are AI agents. What is an AI agent? AI agent is, I guess you could call it a technology. They're not all bots, but they're technologies that can do things for you quicker, faster, stronger, like the $6 Million Man, so that you don't have to take so much of your time doing stuff. Let the AI bots handle it, right? But you can't just give everything over to AI. You got to do some stuff yourself. Plus, AI works best when there is human input in there. When you can tell them when they do something. Perfect example for you today. I was doing some stuff with the Unmarketing Academy. We're creating some things, and I said, do this or create this or whatever. I don't know where you got those colors from. Claude, what is wrong with you? What colors do you have? And I actually put in the project knowledge thing, I want these colors right here. So AI can make mistakes. They can lie. They can not tell you the right thing. So you got to be on your game if you're trying to tell them to do stuff. Then on top of all that, there's the email marketing, content marketing, live streaming, all the things that we got to do to keep ourselves out there so that people can see us. It can be so overwhelming, frustrating, just sometimes you can't even talk about it, right? So when I first started the Marketing Academy, I was like, well, I'm teaching on all this stuff, social media, content marketing, email marketing, and your website. Let me just take all of these trainings that I have and put them behind a membership wall and charge people to access it, because it is my expertise and experience. And I'm telling you 1, 2, 3, ABC, how to do things. So I'm like, okay, this can work. And it's been great. But it just wasn't enough in some places. It was a little lacking in some things. I felt it was a little lacking. Even if I wanted to come and do that myself, there were some things that I wanted, things that I wanted to bring in house, and the technology just was not there. But it is now, and I've made the enhancements, so many changes and stuff. Guess what? Now we have customized marketing roadmaps tailored to your business stage. Just starting, in the middle, complete newbie, know everything, doesn't matter. You can get a marketing roadmap created for you at your personal business stage that's going to help you go to the next level. Doesn't matter where the next level is. Personalized learning journeys that eliminate all the overwhelm, the frustration, the I don't know. What do I do with this? What do I do with that? Resource bookmarking system, so you can find exactly what you need when you need it, and you can bookmark it and you can go back to it later. So I'm inviting a select group of entrepreneurs, and you are included, as Founder 2025 members. Now, what do you get by becoming a Founder 2025 member? You get a lock-in on the special price, and your pricing will never increase. Never, 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 ever. As long as you are a member, it will stay the same. Right now, the pricing for the Unmarketing Academy is $97 a month or $900 for the year. I'm slashing that, bringing it all the way down to $67 a month or $647 a year for as long as you remain a member. You will have direct input on new features we're developing, and I have got probably a 1-year plan to put some more stuff on top of the things that I'm doing, but we're rolling it out in segments and sessions so it's not overwhelming, and so that once you learn something, you don't have to relearn something else. And a lot of it is going to be behind the scenes. You won't even see it. You'll just see the stuff happening and you'll know it. You'll be able to ask the question. You'll be able to get with community members and figure out what's happening. And this just in, I'm telling you, this just in. I just decided this, I think it was probably, I don't know, yesterday, maybe finalized it today. I am actually going to bring back the Unmarketing Inner Circle that I had from 2018, that I ran from 2018 to 2020, where I masterminded with my people, the members who were in that Unmarketing Inner Circle, and I coached them and we talked about things, and people just did so much. As a matter of fact, our group project was a 90-day gratitude journal for your business, which went to bestseller on Amazon, right? So we're going to do some more of that stuff. I'm deep diving into Google Analytics and how to do that, and how important it is for your business and to know what's happening with your website and your content and all of that. I'm also deep diving into email marketing. So I've got workbooks, I've got webinars, I've got all these things that are in there now, and that I'm planning to put in there, that I'm working on putting in there. And you just need to go ahead and get on in here with me, right? So if this interests you, if you're like, I need that, or I want some more information, I will jump on a call with you and let you know exactly what's going on. I'll give you a sneak peek behind the scenes if you're not a member, and let you know what's happening. All you need to do is direct message me, private message me, send me an email, get on a boat, a train. No, I'm kidding about all that. But if you go to unmarketyourbusiness.com or csicorporation.com, hit that contact link and say, hey, I'm interested in the Founding Member 2025 initiative that's going on, I got you. And I will tell you the honest to God truth about what's going on, where it is. I mean, the academy is fully functional right now. You can do all this mapping out and learning paths and all that stuff right now, but there's some more great stuff coming. And guess what? With each great enhancement, You don't get charged any more money because the Unmarketing Inner Circle sold for $199 a month or $1,997 a year, but I'm including it in the Unmarketing Academy at no charge until 2026. So you got plenty of time to get in there. We can coach, we can mastermind, we can get your business to where it needs to be. Who's been helping you with your business? Anybody? Well, I'm going to help you with your business. I'm going to help you get that thing to where you need it to be. So come on in. Like I said, DM me, PM me, message me, whatever. Just let me know. Carol, I want in on this thing. Let me know, because there's no landing page. You got to talk to me before we can get in there. And I want you to be in there. It's tech time. And the technology today is my all-time favorite, Elementor. Elementor is a page builder that sits on top of WordPress, so you can have the ability to drag and drop, create your website exactly how you want it to be, put in the little things that make you without having to buy all these expensive templates, all these expensive add-ons, or you're hosting your website on a site that may go down any second or take your content down. I'm not going to mention any names, but y'all know I love WordPress. I am a WordPress girl, have been since I think 2005 or so. So that's a long time, right? And then when I discovered Elementor, I think that was probably 2017. Ain't no stopping me now. I'm telling you, all that other stuff that tells you, oh, it's low cost, it's free. Oh, you can do this. And they're lying. They are lying. Don't believe them. And you think I'm going to tell you who I'm talking about? Heck no, I don't want them coming at me for anything. But if you want to take advantage of Elementor and all the freedom and awesomeness it gives you, just go to csicorporation.com/Elementor, Elementor. And you can sign up, get it, put it on your site. There is a free, guess what? There's a free and a paid version. So if you don't want to pay and you want to see how it is, try it out, you can even build your whole website on that free version. So just go get it. csicorporation.com/Elementor. Without any further ado, let's get to in the studio and talk with Susie about buying property in Mexico. I'll see you on the other side. What's holding you back from hitting go on your marketing plan? Fear, being unsure, imposter syndrome, frustration? That stops now. What if I showed you how to reach your target audience and get them to buy? How to make social media marketing easy? How to understand the power of email marketing? And how to conquer your fear of putting yourself out there? What if I provided you with simple tools and techniques, easy to implement training that bring you clarity, and give you the expertise and the know-how to convert marketing into money? Hey there, I'm Carol J. Dunlop, the online wild strategist and 6-time best-selling author. I teach purpose-driven entrepreneurs just like you to convert marketing into money. If you're a purpose-driven entrepreneur who's ready to stop allowing fear and frustration to keep you stuck and instead embrace clarity, authority, and expert instruction to convert your marketing strategies into money in the bank, then you need to join the Unmarketing Academy. In the Academy, you'll take a deep dive into the tools, techniques, and trainings that helped me and my husband to sustain our successful business in spite of the 2008 recession, 2 major health crises, and of course, the pandemic. The Academy is about replacing expensive, frustrating, and overwhelming marketing practices with simple, easy to implement marketing resources that get you in front of your target audience and get you paid. This Academy is for purpose-driven entrepreneurs who crave simple marketing strategies, coaches who need real-life trainings to take the overwhelm out of marketing, small business owners who are ready to conquer their fear of putting themselves out there, service providers who want to use social media and email marketing effectively, action takers who are ready to go live without fear. Marketing your business successfully takes work and marketing. Without marketing, they don't know you exist. If you're ready to convert your marketing into money, you need to join the Unmarketing Academy. Join the Unmarketing Academy today by going to unmarketyourbusiness.com/join. All right, everyone, you are in for a treat today. Y'all know I moved to Mexico, Playa del Carmen, Quintana Roo, Mexico, to be exact. Because I always say Playa del Carmen, Mexico, but that's not what we say in the States. We don't say Atlanta, USA. We say Atlanta and everybody knows where we are. But Playa del Carmen, Quintana Roo, Mexico. I'm getting better at my Spanish pronunciation.
Very good. It is improving. I like it. I'm very proud.
Thank you. You know, I have the American accent, which I don't even know I have, and then I have the Southern accent, which comes out sometimes. So sometimes when I'm speaking, people look at me like, "What?" And I know it's that Southern accent coming in.
I love it. I love it. It's so cute. I love it.
Thank you. Well, y'all, I have a real good treat for you because like I said, I've been talking about Mexico, I've been talking all kind of things, and this woman today, Miss Susie McDonald, she is the one who helped us to find this beautiful condo that we're in to our exact specifications. I mean, give or take one or two things, it's like 100% for real. Mm-hmm. Not only that, but she lives in Mexico. She's from Colombia. I'm gonna get her on here in just a second. She's from Colombia and she used to be in the United States. So what better? You know, she understands all of these worlds, Latin America, all of this. So I was very fortunate to stalk her so that I could get her on my side because I did stalk her. Susie, I found you on, House Hunters International. If y'all watched House Hunters International and they talk about Mexico, usually Susie is right there. I think they may have a couple other people they use now, but Susie was my girl. Every time I heard about Mexico, I'm like, let me get in front of that TV and see what they're talking about. And I saw you so many times. I'm like, I'm going to reach out to her. And I did. I reached out. And that was like about 2 years ago, I think. And I was like, we're coming.
Years,
yeah. I was like, we're coming down to Mexico. And I need your help because I was confused. I was so confused. They were like, I need a guarantor. Don't get stuck with somebody you don't know. I heard all these crazy stories. So she's going to break all this stuff down and tell us what we can and can't do. But before we get into that, Susie, would you be kind enough to tell the audience about you, what you do, and all that? And then we'll get into the other nitty-gritty stuff. How about that?
Sure. So, well, you did such a good job. Hi,
you.
everybody. My name is Susie McDonald. And as Carol mentioned, I am originally from Colombia. I have been living in Mexico for about now 13 years now, and they have gone by like super fast. I mean, they have gone by really, really fast. Mm-hmm. Prior, I lived in the United States for a long, long time, different places. I lived in Texas for a while. Then I relocated to Denver, and that's where I met snow. And then that's where I discovered that snow, and I just did not get along. So
I don't blame you.
We broke up, and I ended up relocating to South Florida. Let's see, I came to Tulum the first time, like a good 21 years ago, something like that. So this area looked very different back then than it does now. But I fell in love with it. First time I came to Playa del Carmen, it was like this tiny little place that I was like, oh, hell no, no way. Too small. City girl. I'm originally from Bogota, so no way. But it was always a nice place to come for vacation, and kept on coming year after year, and eventually ended up investing here. So I was able to experience firsthand what it is like to purchase something here, and versus, like, say, in the United States. And the differences that the processes can have. And then, I mean, like, what could be like, oh, scary just because it's different. But if you do things, if you follow like the protocol, then you're going to be fine. But it's definitely, it has to be a very informed decision. Then like some years came by and the opportunity to come here and work presented itself. So I did. And I had, like, originally I used to be a hotel restaurant management person. So always that service orientation. But when you're doing this job is very, very different. And although I was like, oh, it's going to be so easy. It was, but it wasn't. But I'm very glad that I did it. So now I've been working this market for the last 13 years since I've been here. So I've been able to see changes, and I've gone through everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly with different clients, and always just very important to be by people's side. And you learn from those experiences, and you learn about different types of the different developers, the different areas, different products, and you start becoming very discerning about what to offer people. Because at the end of the day, like my intention, like with anybody, is to have the same experience that I had coming here, which was falling in love with Mexico, falling in love with this area, and not going through something that is going to leave you with a bitter taste. So I always want to make sure that with my company and the people that work with me, that we work together, that we're always providing like that service that is from an educated space, everything that we offered. And it's a relationship that goes beyond like finding a property, be to purchase or to rent. That goes beyond that, because people always need more stuff. And through the years, I've also, started finding like people that do different things, and just as you know. So
yes.
That's, in a nutshell, that's it.
In a nutshell, in a great nutshell, I have to say, I want to give you this testimonial. SusieIsTheBomb.com. Let me tell you, because we told her exactly what we were looking for, what we wanted, what we didn't want. And she asked us what our price thing, monthly price or whatever. Yeah, our rental, what we wanted to spend. We told her, she told her the honest truth about what we wanted to spend and what we needed to spend, what we could spend, and all that. And if we wanted to buy, we decided to rent. We got it in the price point that we wanted. Yay! Yeah. And we got what we wanted. But it was only because I think you and I had this understanding of what it is that we wanted, right down to the nitty gritty, how much money we wanted to spend. And we're going to talk about all that in a little bit, because it's very, very important, because Mexico is different from the United States, not just in location, not just because of the language. It's different in so many ways. Yep. And I want to stress to everyone, it is not a carbon copy of the United States, even though there are so many things here that make us relatable. It has, I don't think it has Target, but I know it has Walmart. Yep. And we have so many other brands and stuff.
Yeah, Costco.
But Costco, but they're all different. They're all different. They got the little Mexican flair, which I love. Yep. We fell in love with this place. We're here. And I wanted to bring Susie on because I know right now in the States, everybody is looking for something. They're either looking to escape, looking to get out of Dodge for a minute or two, or make some real decisions about their life. And this is the person that can help you. And she helped us. And I just tell everybody about you. I really do, because I've sent you what?
I know you do. Yes, you do. I'm very grateful and appreciative.
Yeah, I send them referrals with this caveat. Look, I don't know this person. I just met them online or whatever, or I met them in the airport and they want to know about it. So I'm sending you. So don't get, if it doesn't work out, it's not my fault.
Oh, no. But I mean, the thing is that it's important to have that conversation, to reach out and at least to say hi. And then if somebody's be very interested or something, then they're going to get back to me. And if they're not really there yet, then they won't. And that's okay. But I'm very grateful for every single referral, recommendation. Yes. Very appreciative.
Awesome. So before we get into all that stuff, because the Unmarket Your Business podcast is all about helping purpose-driven entrepreneurs get more traffic to their website, no matter what their business is. Tell us, how do you get traffic to your website? How do you keep that buzz going? How do people know about you?
Okay, so I do different things. I do things like what we're doing right now. If somebody offers me to put a camera on my face and let's do something, great, awesome.
Yes.
And I've done different collaborations, so that definitely pays off. Always looking to be different than what everybody else is doing. Exactly. As far as on the marketing channels, and find the different ones that work. Because almost everybody says, okay, let's do Google ads, or let's do Facebook ads, or let's do all these things. But you have to find what works for you and the type of client person that you want to reach, because and it can be from different things. Like I said, my focus is real estate sales, rentals, but people call me sometimes for help with a number of different things. And I can always provide some insight. And if I can be of assistance and point them in the right direction, I will. because maybe they were badly guided or something happened and they just need assistance. So I'm not going to turn around and say no, because that's just really crappy. So I'm always able to help. But you want to find the spaces where the most qualified people that are really looking are going through. And it can be via like YouTube, or it can be, like House Hunters International. It's amazing how many people have reached out to me because of House Hunters International, and that have been very serious about finding something. And then just to be able to have like that initial conversation. I always want to make sure that I talk to people on the phone or via Zoom. If it's in person that they happen to be here, even better. Like, that's my favorite. But it's always important to have the conversation, not through WhatsApp, not through email, not through like this, because the idea is to build a connection, because I want people to know me. I want them to know who I am. And I want to know them. And that we can see, if we mesh, because somebody might not like me, and that's okay. Or I mean, somebody that I cannot work with this person, and that is okay. It's for you to be able to find somebody that you mesh with, that you can connect with, and that you feel comfortable working with. Because something that is very important to me here, it's from an investment standpoint. When somebody's they're looking to make a dream come true, and they're taking savings and they're managing their finances in a way that they can make it happen. So it's a very big responsibility, I feel. You're pointing people, say, on pre-sale new construction projects, or on secondhand inventory, or on rentals, so all these things are important, and you really don't get to the nitty gritty of it unless you're able to sit down and talk to somebody, because a lot of times people will have ideas about how things are, but they don't really know, and they want to like send you messages for WhatsApp. If somebody's not willing to give me the time to have a conversation with me, then I, as appreciative as I am, I'm not going to take the time to sit with them until they sit down and talk to me, because there's always more questions, and just WhatsApping and messaging. I feel that I'm not respecting their time, and they're not respecting mine. So we can get to that point. It's just for clarity, and it's something that has served me well. It hasn't always been easy, and I've always started very small. So, and I'm very mindful about how I invest on marketing and on what I do, because everybody pays for Google Ads, and there's like real estate companies here. There's, it's a very competitive market. People that do it. So, eventually one day I want to be huge, But actually not really. What I want it to be is a company, and what I am growing, that's like, hey, this is what I'm offering. I want to give you information, and I want to like clarify the process for you, so that whenever it's time to make the decision, you're sure about what you're doing, and it wasn't like a fast decision or anything, something thought out through, and that whatever they're looking for, they're very comfortable with. So that's the kind of people that I look for, and the content that I do, it's based on that. Not on showing you, look at the pretty condo, they're gonna go away, sale, blah blah blah, or because I find that very superficial, and I'm not dissing my colleagues or anything. It's a strategy that works for a lot of people.
Right.
The way that I like to work is come from a space of service. How can I help you? Like, I feel that the rental or the purchase and everything, that's going to happen because you're already looking.
Right.
What we need to do is clarify the entire process, and for you to feel comfortable and sure about what you want to do. And that's how I take it. Sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes it takes a year. It might take 2 years, but it's building a relationship. It really, that's what it is. It's just a building of relationships with different people. And look, I'm putting my face out everywhere. but I do that on purpose because I have learned many things, and I have experience now. And like I said, I just want to be able to offer that service and be as transparent as possible. And also, if something is not like meshing well, to be able to, I'd have to tell people like, you know what, this one doesn't work. Let's find something else. Because that's trust,
I agree with you. It's about building a relationship, and all that you do, you've created the website, you have all the information there, you tell them what you can do, but unless you bond it together with a relationship, it really doesn't matter. Because when you and I connected, I think it wasn't via WhatsApp. Actually, when you and I connected, I wasn't even on WhatsApp. I wasn't even using WhatsApp.
No, you were not. Yeah.
And you were like, do you want to connect me on WhatsApp? I'm like, I don't use that. But my husband did. So you said, well, let's have a conversation. And we did. I felt very cared for. And even now, I tell everybody that the landlords here, the property manager, and I've never met the owner, but he's in the chat. We're all in the chat. You're in the chat together, WhatsApp chat. Yeah. And me and my husband feel so cared for with these people who we've never really met. I think the only person I've met in there is probably you.
Yeah.
But we talk and, business wise and stuff. So it really helps. And I think what you're doing so well with the relationship, because we've called you for certain things like, how do we pay this bill? How do we pay that bill? Can we do this online? Can we do that? And you've been Johnny on the spot, as we say. You've been Johnny on the spot with the information so that we've been able to discern it. And I also have to say, we didn't have to worry about anything. Granted, my husband was a little kind of like, I don't know this person, but you and I had established a relationship. I was like, if this is what she's saying, let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's see what she's got. And you showed us, it was so funny because you showed us 2 properties. And the first one I fell in love with, and I went to see the second one. I was like, nah, I got the first one. And that's the one we got. So what you're doing is definitely working, I have to say.
And then when your husband met me, then he was like, all right, then
yes.
I knew he was going to love me.
Right. He loves you. He was like, today, even getting all the pockets, make sure you're not late, make sure you're there. But, you want to waste people's time. So yeah, definitely. So let's get into this thing about foreigners, especially from the United States. But I know you deal with a lot of different people wanting to buy in Mexico, wanting to rent in Mexico. What is the market really like? And what can we really trust that we see? Because everybody says something different. Go down here, there's a real estate agent who can help you, or go over here, you got to do this, or why can't we do it by ourselves? And I want to let everybody know, I did not want to do it by myself. I was scared. Scared. New country, new place, new everything. I was like, I need somebody I trust, and that was Susie. So help us out, Susie.
All right. Well, let's start first because there's a lot of misinformation out there. Focusing on the sales part right now. People say, I can't own the property in Mexico if I buy there because it's owned by the MAC. And that is incorrect. You can buy property here. So let's go back. So when Mexico gained their independence, they did make it illegal for foreigners to be able to purchase real estate that was about 25 miles from the coast or 50 miles from the border, because it was a way that they figured to protect their land. Obviously, modern times that doesn't really work because people want to be either close to the border,
right,
business, or they're close to the beach. So they ended up being able to amend the Constitution and change it to where foreigners could purchase in this specific limits via a trust. So it's called a restricted zone trust. So what that means is that there is some fiduciary banks. There's a few. And the only thing that they do is represent you in front of the Mexican government to give faith that you are the owner of the property. This type of instrument is also very good because it acts as a living will does in the United States. So you would be like the beneficiaries, the owners, the people purchasing. And then if they wanted to put their relatives, their kids, whoever they wanted to put, they could put them as like the second beneficiaries, and you could do it in percentages and everything. So the process is very flawless. It is part of your closing costs because that you need to include an account for that, because as a foreigner, if you have to, create a brand new trust, the total is $2,500 roughly, because you have to create the trust, which that's a one-time purchase. Then you have to register the trust. That's a one-time purchase, And then you do have to pay an annual maintenance fee around $500 a year, roughly, to keep the trust valid. I have done this many times over, between buying and selling property here. So I can tell you that it works. It's never a problem. It actually even protects you more.
Okay.
It protects you more. And as a foreigner, that's something that is very important. It's a good instrument. If somebody wanted to have like a Mexican company because they were going to have a bunch, or they were going to add a business or something, then you can create that too. It's a different dynamic, but the costs end up being about the same. Okay. So yes. Oh, and then important, the trust have a lifespan of 50 years, but it doesn't mean that at the end it's like, oh, you're done. No. It gets renewed for another 50 years. The bank is going to send you a form that you sign, and that's it. And then it gets expanded for another 50 years. Different banks. I really like one in particular because they're fast. But, it depends also if you're going to buy like one condo, 5 condos, because there are some that say one condo per trust, and that could get expensive. If you want more than one, then definitely look at banks that offer like for multiple trusts.
But you can guide us. You can guide us to which ones, depending on what they want to do, right?
Yeah, and even if it's like one in creation of a company, like I can. I'm very well versed, and I have an excellent group of attorneys that I work with that are my absolute trust. They handle all my business, and I guess that's how I test things.
Yeah.
Let me I'll do it and see how it goes. But these attorneys have been for years, and I can vouch for them 100%. So
good deal.
I like to be able to do that. So I guess that will be the first thing to start.
Okay. But you don't have to buy it first. You can rent like we're doing, and then, kind of look around and then decide where you're going to buy, right?
Yeah, it all depends in the process. There are people that are very familiar with the area. They're like, I want to buy right now. There are people that I don't really know. I'm not really sure. Let me rent first. And we work with everybody, everybody's welcome.
Right.
But I mean, like the one thing that I definitely have to point out is, of course, you can wait to buy it, but don't expect the prices to stay, because from year to year, and depending on the economy, I mean, things are going to
change. It's changed since we've been here. Even we got here in August. A lot of things have changed. I mean, it could be inflation, it could be governments, politics and all that, but things do change. That's one thing I know about Mexico. It is never the same. Never. Even when we get into the Soriana and we see a display set up, that display may not be there the next time we go in. They are constantly changing things.
No, and if you see something, like if you go to Costco or you go to Sam's or Walmart, and you see something that you're like, oh my God, I really love this, like buy it.
Buy it then. Yes. Yeah, because it may not be there the next time. It may come back.
Yeah,
but it may not.
Yeah, so just buy it.
Yes, definitely. So you said something about buying and stuff, but who can buy in Mexico? I mean, we said foreigners, but do you have to be? Can you be a tourist? Do you have to be a resident, or is it only limited to if you have citizenship? So tell us about that.
No. You can be from a foreigner, and you can purchase with a tourist visa. You don't need to have your residency or anything like that. In fact, when you purchase, it will help you to get your residency as well.
Okay.
Yeah, because there are some, there's a standard, that immigration has. That, I mean, if you're coming here asking for, say, even a retired person's residency, or somebody that is not, first they want to see that you have a job, or like business, whatever you do, that you're not going to be coming here to take jobs away from Mexicans.
Right.
But they're also going to ask you for bank statements because they want to see a certain amount of money in your account for consecutive months that will prove to them that you do have the resources to be able to live in Mexico without working.
Right.
When you purchase a property, like, that disappears because you have already invested here and you have money. So it definitely eases that part of the process. But yeah, no, you can buy with like even coming with the tourist visa and be able to create that. Is actually a very flawless project. I mean, it's a very flawless process. It's very, very smooth, but also because I have really good attorneys. So it's got point, because that's how I want it to be. And if there's any stress to be had, it's normally me, the one that has it. You find about it later.
Gotcha. That's good to know, because I know a lot of people are always talking about buying, or they're, my age, they're like, I'm retiring or whatever, but can I buy? Do I have to be a resident or whatever? So you just answered that. The other thing I've heard about this, and so I'm just asking. That's all. So how safe is it for you to buy in Mexico if you're a foreigner? Are they going to come and take your land, or are they going to come and kick you out? Or, how does that work? When you buy this property, you have this property, how safe is that?
Yeah, excellent question. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what I do for my people and also what I do for myself. Like I said, everything through me first and then to everybody else. The first thing is find a real estate agent that you feel comfortable working with. It is an interview, and they should be very knowledgeable about the process, about the laws, about all these things, and be able to give you and dedicate you the time. Make sure that they're licensed, because that's something that is getting finally regulated, but not every real estate agent out there is licensed.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
they can just call themselves a real estate agent, but they may not be a real estate agent.
But now you have the license, and I mean, and they give it, and so you can ask for the license. And I tell people, even like I said on podcasts, whatever, just ask me for it. I mean, like, it's not going to offend me. I have it, that I have it. So because it is a process to be able to get it, and you have to be informed about things, and you do have to stay up to date with the laws and things in order to be able to keep it valid, because you do have to take tests and you have to do these things. So I would say that's first. Make sure that you work with a good attorney. There's a lot of pre-sale projects here, and there is a lot of people that say, oh, well, I'll just work with developers' attorneys. No, that's great. Only one problem with that. Who's paying the attorney? You or the developer?
Okay.
So I mean, you want somebody that is representing your interest and that is doing the due diligence on whatever property you're looking at, and that your attorney is also making sure that everything is in order. If there are some things that might be pending or something, at least we'll have that understanding and know how to keep moving forward. Also, just making sure on the legality of the land. And like I said, this is something that your attorney will be able to do.
Right.
This can happen more when buying land, because there is land here that is called ejido, which is, I guess, for lack of a better comparison, or just whatever is like the most similar, like Native American lands in the United States.
Oh, okay.
Which was owned by
protected lands.
Yeah, protected lands that are owned by a conglomerate, by a group. And that can only be owned by Mexican nationals. So Mexican citizens, not residents, temporary or permanent Mexican citizens. And if you happen to be like, somebody tells you that they have this awesome deal, and that is an ejido, even if it's on a transfer of rights and blah, 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 I always caution on the side of safety, and also because I went through that mistake.
Wow.
So from personal experience. So I would say, don't do it. If you're gonna do it, you have to be very, very sure. But I always, and any attorney that I work with, they will tell you, don't do it.
Right. Just don't do it. Just don't do it, period. Don't even just go somewhere else. Go to something else. Don't try that. Yeah.
Property that is titled. That you have titled land. When you're looking at new construction, is very important to understand that there will be like 2 deliveries that take place on a property. First is going to be the physical delivery of the build, of the condo, of the home that you purchase. And then the second one is going to be like the legal delivery of the process. So signing of the deed and stuff. And the reason why they don't happen simultaneously, I mean, some developers have it, but it's not like easy time-wise to do, or the timing and everything.
Right.
It's because when they started a construction project, it started as a piece of land.
Yeah.
And then they did a building. So like the government authorized certain floor plans and certain designs on a building. So they need to make sure that whatever was submitted matches what was built.
Oh, okay.
And
that sounds like a good plan to me. You got sold something. Yeah. Is it what you bought? Did you buy the thing that you thought you were going to buy it? Right. That sounds perfectly normal.
Yes. And you also, but you want to make sure, for example, that if there was say that the developer needed to make a change to a common area or something, that they submitted those plans prior to doing the modification, and that the municipality knows. Because if things are not exactly as they are, then the breakup of the of all the individual units is not going to take until the situation is rectified.
Wow.
So, but I mean, it's a very normal thing. Like I said, even like this last property where I live now, I went through it, and it's important to relax. Something that like biggest difference, I would say, in the US, in Canada, in other parts, we're always made feel good because the attorney or the developer, people call, even though if nothing is happening. So just to let you know, we're still working on it, and it's going fine. So that we're used to that, makes us feel good. Here, they kind of don't call you until something happens.
Oh, okay.
People get nervous. They're like, oh my God, I sent this email and they haven't replied or anything. So like one thing I always tell my people is copy me on all the emails. I will probably not respond or anything, but I can see what's going on. And then if say they're like, oh, Susie, hey, I've been trying to get a hold of whomever and I haven't been able to, can you help me out? Then I can like jump in, take a look and go, oi, man, what's going on?
Right.
We're looking for you. So
like you did with us, even though we're renting and the process is shorter, different and all that, you went through the entire contract agreement and made sure that the property manager and the landlord and the owner gave us a complete agreement in Spanish and translated into English. And you sat down with us and you explained everything and asked us, did we have any questions and all of that. And there were a couple of things that we did have questions about, but you went back to them and found out. So I have to say, just having you as like someone that can hold my hand and stuff, hold our hand is awesome, because when you're explaining the whole process about getting the place and all that stuff, it sounds like okay, it sounds pretty similar to what we go through in the States, but it ain't the same. I'm telling y'all, it ain't the same.
I mean, starting with like the contract in Spanish, that they're gonna give you the contract in Spanish for you to sign. It's like, man, it's like, I mean, you would do that. And it's the same thing with promissory purchase contract, same. And I mean, I could translate it. Of course I could. Or the attorney could translate it or something. But I don't do it because it's not my contract and it's not my words. It's somebody else's words. And I don't want for a technicality to be misinterpreted, and then they're like, oh no, well, we can't fulfill our obligations because you translated and not me. And that's what I always tell realtors and developers and everything. Is like, man, and English is a very universal language, and let's face it, we have a large portion of the population that is here now that comes from the US and that they come from Canada. And English is just, it's important. It's a necessity. And you want to rent to foreigners, then you need to be able to fulfill that and to be able to look at that, because even, even with like people that do rentals, not everybody's really experienced, not everybody's great. My business partner, which you haven't met, Laura, she does more rentals and the long term and everything. And we have built our little network, because as you move through, you work with people that are professional. So you keep those contacts, and then the ones that haven't been or that are less than great, is like, well, like, why headaches?
Why? Yeah, I don't want any headaches. I want smooth sailing as much as possible.
And if there's an issue, like even little things like what we've had with you guys, that there is a clear line of communication, because once, like, say the rental part is done, I mean, really I am out of the picture, or Laura is out of the picture, but we always stay in a support way if it's necessary. Like if you need me to jump into something, then I can do it. But you want to be able to have somebody that is going to give you that response. So that's where you start like refining as somebody being here on the ground. Something that people are like, oh my gosh, it's so frustrating that there is no MLS system. Yes, agree. Like I would love it if there was one, but there isn't. But you learn to work with the system, and you learn to like, do the digging into like, I mean, I work with all the different real estate companies and the developers. So again, just finding product that is good. People like pre-sales because you have time to pay. It doesn't have to be right away, but you have to make sure that you're in with a reputable developer that is going to finish things. So, because I mean, I'm not saying that they don't, but sometimes things happen. Things happen, and things can run into delays, and you just want to be able to have the certainty that even if they're late a year, which can happen, but they're going to finish, not that they're going to be a year and then still stuck. And again, this comes from experience.
Right. Just knowing.
No, and from having processes on things that, I mean, I did make mistakes. I'm not perfect.
Right.
But I mean, learn from those. And it's like, never again. Because
I know, right? Never again. Now you brought up a good point here when we're talking about paying for the thing. So I always thought I don't know where I got this from, that every Mexican person paid for everything in cash. And I was so shocked to find out that when I got here, hey, they have financing, just like, I don't know how it works since we haven't tried it. So is there financing for houses? Can people do that?
Well, let's talk about the different things. So, I mean, so there are some projects that will offer developer financing. And then Mexican banking institutions like federal, like banks, do not provide financing for foreigners. They did for a very short period of time in 2008. But then when the housing crisis, they said, nope, no mas. And because they had allowed some U.S. banks to come in here and do financing for foreigners. But the thing about the market here is that it's very conservative. So really, most people buy what they can afford, not what they can afford on a mortgage payment. So because paper here is expensive. The interest rates can be high. They're definitely, well, I mean, right now the United States is kind of high. Yeah. But you can, but they tend to be higher. So people just don't want to have like the mortgage note. However, there is a demand for financing, especially from foreigners that want to be able to invest here, but they might not have all the capital. Right. So I have been praying to the financing gods, and I mean, coming to that, this is something of a content that I'm starting. I'm at a really good company. They're based out of Cancun. I've been working with them. They've been successful in getting loans for people from the US, from Canada. Against, for different ones. What is important to understand is that it's not like a bank, a bank like a national bank.
Right.
But they are financial institutions that are regulated by the federal government. It's not like anybody can say, oh, I'm going to start like lending money or whatever. They do go through a very rigorous vetting, and they need to have certain, capital and permits and license. I mean, it's a very elaborate thing, but this is a way that financing for foreigners can take place.
Okay.
They do look at the credit scores, they do look at credit history, they do look at different things, and then just to figure out what's the product that works best. The reason that I like them, because you have some other bigger companies that do lending, but the thing with that is that, say, when we've tried to go through the process with clients, they want me to, in a way, be involved, in the sense for me to know what's going on. And because they're used to, if it's the attorney or is whomever,
Right.
and I can jump in.
Right.
And with a big company, they don't even pay any attention to me, because the deal is now with me. I was just the real estate person that is selling them the property, but they have nothing to do with me.
Right.
The difference with this company, with these people, they're not giving me any information on the process at all. They don't tell me numbers. I don't know anything.
Wow.
But if my client, no, because they're working with the client, with the person that is getting the loan, and there are privacy laws.
Right.
But if there is something that my client wants me to reach out about and call, or just because they were not clear or something, and arrange something, just be like that other, I
see what you're saying. I see you're a voice if you're needed,
exactly.
But you're not necessarily in the process, because the process is between the client and that company. Correct. But if something is needed, you can help facilitate it or talk to them or whatever. Okay, well, that's good to know.
Confusion or something, I can be the bridge to clear that confusion. Good. Because it can happen. That's something that I consider an advantage of me. Because I did live in the United States. I understand how things work. Right. And I like how things work. But I live in Mexico. And I've got how things are here too.
Right.
Different. And just to be able to create that bridge and be able to have like that empathy and to be able to understand. And as somebody that has skin in the game, because I bought and sold here. So I've lived the process myself. It's not me just offering something and not knowing what I'm talking. No, I understand from experience. Right. And that does make a difference, because I also understand how hard people work for their retirement and for their and for things like that. So I'm not going to take it lightheartedly or anything. We're going to do the work. And the one thing is just that I ask from anybody, please give me the time to have the communication with you, just like you did. If we needed to on a call, we did. If I sent you things that I needed the feedback from you, if you're coming, just like the more we do this of just like keeping the communication lines open and having response and everything, not just kind of sort of, and it's like, oh my God, we're gonna be there next week. Like that doesn't.
Yeah, I did tell y'all. So we're supposed to be here. We're planning, but it didn't end up being. It was a year later, and I kept in contact. And then I said, hey, we're finally coming. Then I said, we're on the ground, and we did not officially meet until we were on the ground, and then we could really get some things going. And you asked me again, like, what is it that you want? What do you want to do? What is your lifestyle? And it was easy for us because it's just me and him, no kids, no dogs, or any other.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah. We're easy. We're easy. So and we know that we're going to use you when we get ready to buy, because we don't trust anybody else. We don't know. Well, it's not that we don't trust anybody else. We just don't know anybody else, and we're not taking the time. Because you've shown us why. It's like I love like lemon meringue pie, right? So if someone has a lemon meringue pie that they're going to give me, why am I going to the store and go buy another one somewhere else when they have that good one right there? So
exactly.
I love it.
Well, thank you. It means like everything to me.
Good. Well, this conversation has been very important, I feel, because there are a lot of people out there right now that I know that are in my circle, in the groups I'm in, who need this information and who want to know, who are searching for things, whether they want to go to Mexico, particularly in Playa del Carmen, because I know you service more than Playa del Carmen. You service the Yucatan.
Well, no, like the Yucatan, like you have the peninsula is made up of 5 states.
Right.
I service the state of Quintana Roo.
Okay, gotcha.
So I can go anywhere from Cancun to Tulum.
Okay.
I do have some contacts in Bacalar, but I mean, there are people that it depends. But I mean, like that would be like the length of the area that I look at.
Okay, but that's good to know. That's a good area, because we were originally thinking about going to Puerto Morelos, if I can say that right, Puerto Morelos. We were thinking about going there, but we were like, we fell in love with Playa. We didn't go anywhere else, and we're just like so happy. So, just having somebody on the ground to help you. And I've called you for numerous things personally, just to ask you questions. I think that has gone down since we've been here. At first it was like every day, I'm Susie, what, and then, as I got to do things on my own, we got to learn things. It's not so much anymore, but it's great to know that you're still out there and around, and I still stay in contact. So this is really good. This has been awesome. I know this is useful for people, especially those who are doing like me. They want to be a digital nomad or go somewhere and still have their work and stuff. It's so cool. So before I let you go, I know that you have a challenge that you would like to offer to people who are looking. What would you suggest? What is a challenge you want to present to them so that they can find out exactly what it is they want, and not being like, oh no, oh my God, I'm confused? Because there's no need to be confused. It's all good. What would you challenge them with?
Well, look, I mean, like I challenge them to really think about what they want, like truly what they want, and the money that they have to work with. I mean, and see if it's something that is realistic or not. I get a lot of I want to be by the beach with $100,000. It's like, with all due respect, that doesn't exist anymore. If it did, I would have already bought it myself.
Yes, a couple times, right?
So just like honestly thinking of the things that are like truly, truly, truly important, and what you're willing to compromise with, to be able to start figuring out the way, realistically, and what it would take for you to achieve that goal.
Exactly. That's a good challenge, because we all need to think about things, especially we're talking about not just going down the street to another city or another state. We're talking about crossing over the country line, going to a whole different atmosphere, a whole different country. So yes, figure out what it is you want. What are your must-haves? What are you can't live without? And then you're going to have to figure out what you're willing to compromise about, because I don't care what it is that you want. You're going to have to compromise on something. You're going to want. It ain't going to be right. But if you can get the majority of what you want, like 85, 90%, hey, we're all good, right?
And be open to looking at things that you might have not considered, because you're going to be surprised.
That is true. That is true. I think when you took us to this place, I really had no idea. We hadn't really started our looking journey. And when I walked in, I was like, I told you, I was like, Susie,
I remember.
I was like, this is it. And Luis was over there in the corner trying to, because I was filming and all that. And I was like, this is it. I don't even know if I want to look. You're like, go look at the other place. Let's go look. I was like, okay, prying me off the wall. I didn't want to go. And I looked at it. I was like, no, we're going back. And my husband, I told him about it, and all he had was a video. I was like, we're getting this place. He's like, really? So he never even saw the thing until we actually signed the papers and moved in. It was so funny.
We were moving in.
Yeah, but he loved it.
Well, so it was an informed decision. And that's why I wanted you to look at more stuff. It's like, no, let's make like really sure. And then sure that it's all good.
And we also looked at so many places online.
I
would look through all these places and send you stuff. You're like, Carol, don't mess with that. And you said, oh, I found out about this one for you. It's only a 1-bedroom. It's only a 2, or it only has this, or it only has that. No. So we went through a lot of stuff before we even got the real thing. So that's what I love about you too.
So that when you hit the ground, then we can like have a plan. And that always makes it go. That's the important part of the communication. Being able to do that back and forth, because then it's like, once you arrive, we had a plan. We're going to go look at certain things, and then look, and we found what you were looking for. So yay.
Yes, it was so good. So now let's tell everybody before you get out of here, how can they find you online so that they can contact you and get their process started?
So, well, there's my website, susiemcdonald.com is SUSI, and McDonald is MACDONALD. So susiemcdonald.com. Over there, like you'll find all of our contact information. Also look under like podcast. There's a bunch of different videos of different things that I've done, of showing different areas. And that is an area where I am going to be expanding because it's going to take you to our YouTube channel, which now, like with this intention of giving information and everything, the content that I'm starting to create is going to be geared towards that. And then
good.
You guys will love it.
I can't wait for that.
More questions so we can start having conversations.
I like it. I like it. I love it. I love it. I love you. I love this place. I'm living my bestest life ever, which I've said several times before. So thank you. Thank you for coming on and sharing your knowledge and your experience, because it's always better to have information than to just do it blind. And we don't have to do it blind, y'all. We got Susie. We got Susie right here. We got Susie.
Yeah, so and you got Laura too, so you got the two next to me with Laura.
Which I haven't met. We have to meet her so I can, but if I refer to you and you do the thing, then you'll send it to her. But I really need to meet her because I've only WhatsApped with her. I haven't even talked with her on the phone. But
and she's amazing. And when rentals, she's a total whiz. So
really, okay,
she's amazing. And like I said, we specialize in long term, 6 to 12 months and beyond. We don't really do too much short. No, I do have some good contacts, right now that are working okay. But mainly we work is on, from 6 to 12 months and beyond that. And we get some good stuff and we'll happy to help.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming on board and putting the truth in the front, because, we can hear all the rumors we want, the misinformation. Susie McDonald will give you the truth, honey. The truth, I'm telling you.
Oh, thank you. No, this was fun. I enjoyed it.
Good. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. I will see you next time. Is your website ready for prime time? When your ideal prospects land on your website, do they see the true professional you are? Or are they greeted by a site that's not quite ready for prime time? For 30 years, we've helped coaches and service providers transform their online presence into powerful client-attracting machines. As a premier website designers in the Atlanta area, we don't just build websites, we create conversion engines that work for you 24/7. Why choose CSI for your WOW website? We're experts in authority marketing. We help you convert web visitors into paying clients with our proven unmarketing strategy. We offer complete protection. We'll work hard to keep your website safe from hackers and accessible to all. And we offer purpose-driven results, custom designed for coaches and service providers who want to make a real impact. If you're ready to make an impact with your website, download our free WOW website planner today. Inside this planner, it'll give you all the information you need to create your own WOW website. Whether you use us or someone else, you need a WOW website that converts web visitors into paying clients. So go to csicorporation.com/planner right now and download the free WOW website planner. Did you learn some stuff? I know you did. I know you learned some stuff about Mexico. Did you know you could get financing? I did not until she came on there and said you could get financing. And she's not revealing her source because it's hers, right? But I'm telling you, she was awesome and amazing, and she will definitely help you to find the property that you want and love, like she did for us right here in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. She also does Puerto Morelos, trying to get all my accent stuff together. I think she will go as far as Cancun, but on our little strip, our little paradise in the Yucatan Peninsula, hey, she's got you covered. All right. The client success story for today is Wilma Jones. So a little story about Wilma. She has been my website design client since, I think 2018 or 2019, sometime around there. And she came back to me 2 years ago, I believe, because she was starting she's in a neighborhood, and I think was it the first Black-owned neighborhood in Virginia or something like that? It's called the John M. Langston Citizens Association. Highview Park is the name of the neighborhood, highviewpark.org. And someone had given them some information about WordPress, and then they went to Squarespace, and then they couldn't figure anything out. She was like, this is just too much. Let me just go to my girl Carol and get this thing done. And we did, and we got it up. It is beautiful. They all love it. It works well. It's simple. It's easy to do. No problems. Her other site with me, hallshill.com, is her site that she promotes her books and her speaking engagements and all her stuff on. So she is wonderful and amazing. Thank you so much, Wilma, and congratulations for being this week's Spotlight. Hey there, would you like to be a guest on the Unmarket Your Business podcast? Simple. All you need to do is go to unmarketyourbusiness.com/podcast. Ready for your spotlight? Be on the lookout. All you need to do is be awesome by either being a client or by letting me know you used, did, or follow the advice you heard right here on a previous episode. Post it on social and be sure to tag me at CSI Corporation and use the hashtag Best Unmarketing Strategy. Really appreciate it. And I can't wait to see you on here. All right, now the challenge that Susie told us is to figure out what you really want, where you want to live, and the money you have to work with. Because the money is very important, because you don't get nothing for free. Not anywhere in this world, especially not in the Riviera Maya, what they call here, with these beautiful places that are here. I mean, you don't have to spend an exorbitant amount of money. You can houses, condos, all that, still very much affordable, but you gotta know how much money you're working with, where you want to live, and what are your gotta have this, can't deal if I have that. You got to know that. And if you can tell that to Susie, she can find you the perfect place, just like she did for us. Now, to recap, some of the things that we learned on this episode is, number one, find a place where your most qualified people are and be there. Don't be worrying with all this other stuff. If your people ain't on Instagram, don't be on Instagram. If your people are on Facebook, be on Facebook. Do everything you can on Facebook. Now, of course, that doesn't mean leave out Instagram. You can have a presence there, but if they're not buying from you, get somewhere where they're buying. Number two, you need to clarify your own process to build better relationships, because that is going to be your key to selling and reaching the success that you want. And finally, number three, check the real estate agent's license and get an attorney. This is all part of your team. Our team members here consisted of Susie, the property manager, the condominium association person who is there, an attorney, of course, and then us. And guess what? We're all in a WhatsApp chat together. Who would have known, right? Who does that in the States? Nobody at all. So anytime anything comes up, we're just a chat away from getting anything fixed, taken care of, or whatever. I totally love it. Would you like to get free coaching from me? Simple. All you need to do is go to unmarketyourbusiness.com/podcast. Now it's time for you to get this book. Actually, you can get two books, one over here and one over there, because they're kind of sister brother projects. We did them not in 2024 and 2023, I believe, because I'm getting my dates all crazy. I think it was 2023. Prayers and Inspiration for Mompreneurs and Prayers and Inspiration for Dadpreneurs. So we just had Mother's Day. We're going into Father's Day. This is the perfect time for you to get that unique present for your mom or your dad or both, and let people know, hey, there's support out there for mompreneurs, for dadpreneurs. And each of these authors who are in either book, my husband is a best-selling author. He's in the dad book. And, you know, they really reached deep down inside to create these stories and to tell people their lives. And they reached deep down inside to kind of break that veil and let people get to know them. The books are really great. It is a journal, so it is helping you as much as it is inspiring you. It is helping you as well. So both of them are available on Amazon, but you can actually go to csicorporation.com and either mom book or dad book, and then see the book itself, order it, look at the authors and all that. And again, I want to thank my special guest, Susie McDonald, for coming on and clearing up any misconceptions that we had about buying real estate in Mexico. Maybe even, we talked a little bit about rentals and things like that, but it is awesome. She was awesome as well. So I want to thank you, Susie, for being here. Next episode, I'm going to be talking about building your business with minimal social media. Now, I just came off a summit about how to build your business without using social media at all. And I think most of the people are on there. Some of them say, I hate social media. I'm totally off of it. But a lot of people use it minimally in some ways. And I used to just teach about social media. As a matter of fact, one of my pillars of online business success talks about social media. Social media is still important because it is a free way to connect with people. And social media is everywhere. You can use it for good or you can use it for bad. We're talking about using it for good and using it for your business so you can get yourself out there to the people who want to buy from you. But we're not talking about how you need to be a slave to social media every single hour, every single day. Perfect picture, No, we're not that. We're business owners who, not content creators. Now, if you're a content creator, that's a whole other story. But business owners who need to be on social media to put some things out there, yes, I am talking to you, and we will be talking about that next time. So, which brings me to this point. Now, if you found value from this episode, I want you to like it. If there's a button around for you to like it, I definitely want you to subscribe because you don't want to miss a single episode. I got some more good stuff coming up, including we're going to be diving deep into some SEO using AI, email marketing, and some other things that are coming up. So you don't want to miss that. So go ahead and subscribe. And if you would please do me a favor and leave a review on the platform that you're on right now so that other people can find this. And it will help them know, is this a good podcast or not? And you're going to say, heck yeah, because in your review. And I want to thank you ahead of time for doing that. So I really, really appreciate it. And I also want you to know one last note. I'm going to let you go in just a second. This has been so amazing and awesome, revamping and relaunching this podcast, getting to know you guys, putting content out there, hearing from you, hearing that you actually, number one, listen to the podcast. Number two, comprehend what I'm trying to do. And number three, cheering me on. And number four, you are doing it your doggone self. So I love it. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much. And be sure to join me next time for another great episode. Thanks so much and bye for now. Thank you for listening to the Unmarket Your Business podcast. Heard something you want to take action on? Great. Check out the show notes on unmarketyourbusiness.com/podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Please do me a favor and leave a review or on whatever platform you use to access this podcast. It really helps us to spread the word and get this podcast in front of the entrepreneurs that need it. See you next episode.